My name is James Chang. I'm the owner of ShenZen Tea. We're a tea and kombucha company. We're known to be the farm-to-bottle tea and kombucha company. So farm to bottle, what I mean by that is we source ingredients directly from farmers. We met these farmers through farmers markets that we've done, and I actually buy my ingredients by texting my farmers for them. I know them personally, I know their families, and it's building that relationship with those farmers that I think it's very appropriate to call ourselves the farm to bottle kombucha company. The things that I personally enjoy are the most simple and purest things. So if you say kombucha, I will say my favorite kombuchas from our company are our lemongrass kombucha and our jasmine. And the only thing in those things are the things I just said, right? But what you get when you consume this beverage, the experience that you get is all of the craftsmanship of the artisan. So I think when you're as an entrepreneur now, being a craftsman is crafting that experience. And as being an artisan, you're crafting, of course, just the raw product itself. So we were really lucky. When the pandemic hit, right before it hit in February, I've already been working on plans for expanding the company. So the plans to expand the company required capital, so we had a lot of loans that we were already looking at. So we were able to acquire funding and do all the fundraising right before the pandemic hit. And for that reason, we were able to also stay afloat during this time, right? But if it wasn't for that, it'd be really hard to get by. We'd probably need the skeleton crew, which a lot of companies have resorted to. Luckily, we didn't have to cut any hours on anyone's time. We didn't have to lay anyone off. We were able to keep everyone employed and everyone's needs met during this time. Unfortunately, we didn't have to pivot as much as restaurants had to. We were able to continue doing what we do with personal protection equipment. So last year, farmers markets comprised probably half of our gross revenue. So a big part of our business is through farmers markets. This year, I don't even know what the numbers are looking like because the season's still rolling out and some farmers markets will reopen. But this year, I will say we'll be lucky if it were 15% of our gross revenue. It's interesting to think about small businesses and how many small business entrepreneurs, they are also the frontline workers, right? So when they make business decisions, they are directly involved and impacted. They're not, going to be hiding behind an office and whatnot. I feel that as far as personal responsibility goes, when we enter the community, we really need to think about the frontline workers in the sense that they unfortunately did not choose this. Like they are almost like being drafted into war. They didn't have a choice, and they could try to look for another job if they could find one. But in many ways, there are a lot of bigger corporations that are profiting off of these frontline workers. I feel that at this time, we might be seeing more businesses reopen, right? We might see businesses that made it through the pandemic. But what we as consumers may not really know is that those businesses are really struggling. Even though you might go to the restaurant, your favorite restaurant, you might order your same meal, you might be happy that you have that experience again. For small businesses, things are not back to normal. Small businesses, we pulled the country out of a recession last time, right? And it is up to us to get the community back to where it was. But at the same time, we also need to face the reality of what a pandemic is. And none of us have lived long enough to really experience a pandemic on this scale. I think the community can support small businesses in this time by remembering that they're people. I know that sounds so simple, but remember that the people, when you go to a grocery store, you're interfacing with another person, and let's think about their well-being, perhaps, right? Wear personal protection equipment, right? Even regardless of your opinion, a lot of times we really separate people from products, people from businesses. But businesses are not people, but they're made up of people, especially frontline workers. So the best way you can support your community at this very time, besides purchasing things directly from local businesses, is to make sure you have their interests in mind too, and their personal interests in mind, their health in mind as well. My advice right now for anyone who's watching this is, to go out and support their local vendor, wherever and whoever that may be, right? Wherever you live, if you are lucky enough to have a farmer's market that's open, if you have a co-op, just go there and support local vendor. And that is what I advise. That's what we're doing here, and that's what we represent. People do ask me, how can I support you? How can I support your business? And I think what resonates with me more is don't just support my business, support my mission, right? Support the mission that we have of connecting people to farmers, connecting people to the land. And all of that, of course, is very relevant during these times when it comes to public health, right? So I would encourage people to do that.